Let's make this beautiful pink flower. What we're going to need, this is done with satin ribbon. And so what we're going to need is ribbon that is 1.5 inches wide this way and 3 inches in length, okay? So what we do is we've got 6 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to need 6 cuts of that. And we're going to need 6 cuts of the same 1.5 inch, but it's going to be 2 inches. So I'm going to set this all aside and show you what else I start out with. Obviously, if you've noticed, I have used pinking shears to create this. Sometimes when you watch, like I said, some of the videos that are on YouTube, they will use a fire source, a heat source. And let's say, for example, if this was the heat source, they would wave this very close to it so that they can sear the edges so that they don't shred. Since I teach a lot of kids, I would really prefer not to do that. And so that's where, for me, having my shears, scissor shears, I guess you could just call them, really does help me in this way. It stops this from shredding. And it's exactly what we need to have. The second thing that I will absolutely not do any of this with unless I have is something that's called thread magic. It's really more of like a wax, probably is a wax. And what I do is I take my needle and my thread, and once I've got it threaded and I'm ready to go, I'm just going to run it very gently. Don't have to press hard on it at all. And I'm just going to bring this thread through the thread magic. And what it does is, for one thing, it reduces the friction between the thread and the fabric, and it makes a big difference in not getting caught up with a lot of knots. So I absolutely love having that handy. I use that all the time. It does not stain anything that you're using, your fabrics or your ribbon or anything like that. And then the last thing that I absolutely love having, and I use this on the back side, and it's called Buckram. Or you can be looking for something called Kremlin. And I want you to hear this. Okay. It's a very loose woven cotton, and it almost has like a starch on it, and that's the intention, is that it will give you a stiffness that you want. So what I do is I will take this and I use it and I attach all my petals to it. It gives me much, much more control than if I'm trying to gather them all up and tie them and then play with them that way. So these are the things that help me out when I'm trying to make my quality ribbons, ribbon flowers. So let's begin. I have my thread, have my 3 inch. We're all set to go. What I'm going to do is turn it to the inside. This particular ribbon that I have, there is a shiny side and a little dull side. It doesn't matter if you have a double shiny. It doesn't matter at all as long as you've got the right color. What you want to do, though, is pinch it once to kind of, from the heat of your fingers, just give it a little pinch so you know where the center mark is. That's the center mark between here and here. Now I'm shooting to fold in between those two. So I'm going to fold this over and keep it straight. And the intention here is that once I've got this folded and I've got it right, I'm going to fold it over this way and line the bottoms up. That is critical. I want these two at the bottom to end up being together. And because this is a satin fabric and not a cotton, I pin these so that they will stay until I'm ready to go to the next step. So let's do this again. Fold it in half. Give it a little center press. I can see right now that this is off, so I'm going to trim this. Otherwise, it won't work for me. So now they should be even. Let's go back again. Pressed it. I'm looking for that center point. Make it a nice straight line so that it's parallel. These two lines are parallel. I'm going to hold that down and bring this over and maneuver it so that they line up, so that they are together. And then I'm going to pin it so it'll hold its shape until I get to it. So I'm going to continue to do this with all 6 of these. and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, I have all 6 of these done. Now I'm going to turn them over so that the all smooth side is face up. And I'm going to move these aside except for one. Okay, so I've done one. Now I've got this next one. Bringing in my 2-inch ribbon cut, folding it in half, giving it a good crease, keeping them all even down here. Got the smooth side of the first one I've done, and I'm going to lay this right on top of it, and again, keeping everything together down here at the bottom. Remove my pin and fold to the center. Fold to the center. I'm going to hold it and then take the 2 on the left and fold them back, and the 2 on the right and hold them, fold them back. And with my needle and thread, tie this all together. And again, I tie and wrap this a couple times to make sure that I've got all the folds wrapped up into this and tied very neatly. And run this through, tie a knot, and we'll go on to the next one. And I'll continue this cutting and trimming, putting together all 6 of these so we can go on to the next step. And there we go, I've got 2 of them done. Stitch each petal to the buckram, shape the petals as you go. Tack down any stray ends to secure all the petals to the buckram. Okay, I'm going to add the last petal to our flower. This is turning out to be so pretty. And let's see, I think I'll tack it here too. Right there. There. Now, if I wanted to just leave it just like this, and then just add some kind of a little bobble, like a button or something right here in the middle, that would be fine. It would look beautiful that way. But I want to show you a couple other tricks that we can do with this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I fluffed these front petals up a little bit so I can get to them. Just a little bit. I'm going to take the first one, and right here in this upper right corner, I'm going to put a stitch. Then I'm going to go to the next one and do the same thing, putting a stitch in that little bit of that corner on the upper right, and bring the thread through. And do this all the way around. And come back and attach them all to this one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on this and bring all of these forward. Add a button or a few beads to the center of your flower to complete your rose. If you liked this video, I hope that you will subscribe. I thoroughly enjoyed making it for you, and I hope that you got something out of it. Also, when you subscribe, you really do help our channel a lot. It helps us to continue to bring to you the very best in art quilting techniques, designs, and artists. Thank you again for watching.